Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! That was a fan flip. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2025, the album Dad AF. I had a song I was gonna sing and now I can't remember what it was. Hey little thing, let me light your candle, cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now. Yes, I am. I used to say, how did I used to end that song? I would say, hey little thing, let me light your candle, cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now. Don't mess around. Or something like that. I don't know what it is. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. A little Amanda Lepore for you. Anyway, today we're gonna talk about Nikkie tutorials. Did you guys watch my last video? I put up a 46-minute video about some things I needed to say. So go over there and check that video out. But I got a lot of comments about my album. One person who has watched my videos for a long time, they said, I don't have any faith that this album is ever coming out. And then somebody else said, can we pre-order your album? Yes, feel free to send me the money for your pre-order to your album. I have no idea on its release date, but let's get into this video, shall we? So, and actually, this is water. This is not coffee. My coffee is still in my car, but I'm trying to drink more water in 2020. All right, let's get into the video today. So today we're gonna talk about Nikkie tutorials. Part of this video is something that I was gonna do a couple days ago, and then the second part of this is about the fact that Nikkie is going to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I am still kind of wondering why Ellen hasn't had me on her show yet. I'm not sure what she would have me on her show for. My favorite Ellen episode of Life, if you haven't seen it, you can Google it or search it on YouTube or something, is where the woman calls in and she's talking to the woman online, and the woman's like the older lady and she's real nice to Ellen. And then she's like, I gotta be honest, she's like, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little or something like that. Or I drink a little or something. It's so funny. I have to say that I went into the Beauty Guru Chatter because they put a post up about this, and I just went through and I was reading all the responses to it about Nikkie being on Ellen, and this has so many comments on this post, right? And so I went in there and I kind of thought it would be like very mixed. I have to tell you, I was rather surprised in 2020, okay? That yes, Nikkie received an overwhelming positive response to coming out as transgender and sharing her story, her truth, her journey with the world. But I was kind of surprised, honestly. I don't know why I'm surprised. I mean, in retrospect, looking back, that she also received a lot of negativity for it too, and a lot of just really harsh statements. I got on my video that I made about it, I got some people that said some really, really insensitive, uncalled for things on my video. And I just was like, you know, not many, but I don't really get those kind of comments on my videos very often. I mean, people are pretty classy and compassionate in my comment sections. And I think that, you know, you guys can have your opinions and say it in nice ways. But there were a couple comments that I got, and I was like, well, the Westboro Baptist Church is alive and well in America. I was kind of surprised, in all honesty. I really, really was, you know. I have always said this. I've always said this. And people can take this and they can do what they want to do with it, you know? People have asked me in the past, you know, like, with my own coming out as a gay man, I came out in 1990, 30 years ago. It seems so weird. Oh, it will be 30 years on my 18th birthday next year. Well, no, God, not my 18th birthday. On my 48th birthday next year, it will be 30 years since I have come out as gay. I was terrified, even though I knew that my family would support me. I knew my friends wouldn't really care, but I was still scared about public perception. It's a different world now than it was then. I'd like to hope. But one of the things that I have stuck to in my life, right, is that number one, I have always allowed people to get to know me because I thought that, you know, people that didn't necessarily like homosexuality, or they didn't think it was a great thing or whatever, that once they got to see me as a person and they realized I was a pretty nice person or whatever, you know, that maybe their opinion would change about that. And I have had many people come to me and say, you know, my opinion has really changed. And in fact, on starting YouTube and sharing much of my life on here and talking about my husband and I and our relationship and marriage and all that kind of stuff, I've had so many people come to me and say, before I watched your videos, which this just just kind of floors me, honestly. But they said, I didn't know anybody that was gay before I started watching your videos, and having watched your videos and seeing your marriage with your husband, and you talk about marriage counseling and problems and blah, 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 what I realize is that you're really no different than anybody else except for who you loved, and you've really changed my opinion. And that's a really powerful thing that, you know, like I always say that no matter what your story is powerful. But I think the other thing is that I've really never challenged anybody. Like when people will come to me and be like, oh, but you're wrong for the way that you live and whatever, I don't really get into those conversations. And one of the things I have been baffled by my entire life, I mean, really, it surprises me. But I think this was made even clearer to me with the entire, you know, marriage equality thing that was going on in the United States several years ago. I think 2014 was when it was passed. Was people that have dedicated their lives to trying to keep other people from living their truth. Like, I really, to be honest with you, I don't get that. And having been somebody now that has experienced a lot of loss in my life and been with people when they passed away or just minutes after they passed, like my mom and my aunt, I can't imagine being on my deathbed and my proudest moment in life being looking back and being like, you know what? Like, I really kept somebody from, I kept them in their place, and I kept two people apart that were in love. And, you know, I really never understood that. And like I always say in my videos, I don't understand hate watching. I don't understand hate comments. It doesn't really make sense to me. It's not the language I speak. But I do think it is the language that a lot of people speak. And I have to say that, you know, and this isn't really to like take a dig at anybody or whatever, but if you're somebody that lives at a point of hatred in your heart, maybe take a look in the mirror and look at yourself, not because you're living a horrible life or not because, you know, maybe there's something that's misguided. I truly do not understand what has to happen to somebody for them to be so filled with hate and negativity. I really don't, to get them to that point in their life. I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life, and I don't see the world through that point of view. I think a lot of people have. I don't think anybody wishes misery on somebody else truly in their heart of hearts if they are a good person. So if you're somebody that is doing that, maybe truly check yourself and say, do I want to live with this kind of hatred and negativity in my life? Because I don't get it. I really don't, and I don't want anybody out there, I don't want any of you to live your life every single day with just that negativity and that toxicity. You're really doing yourself more harm than anybody else. So with that being said, Nikki came out and she shared her journey as being transgender, and she just, a lot of really powerful acceptance, you know. It made national, international headlines all over. And then earlier today, I think it was today or maybe it was last night, she put out a tweet. She put out a tweet, and she put up a little caption from Ellen's show here. I'll put her tweet right here. And it says, I can't even believe I'm about to say this, but... ... Y'all know I love the ... She said, I'm at the airport off to Los Angeles because I'll be a guest on the Ellen show. So congratulations, Nikki. I think that is so cool. I have wanted to be on the Ellen show for so long. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So I was reading the Beauty Guru Chatter because I wanted to go through there, and I wanted to make sure that the thread that I read, you know, was positive, and there was so much positivity over there. There was so much support of Nikki and things like that. I was really surprised at where the negativity was, though. Like, I'm floored by this, and I, like, heard little things here and there, but not really. The negativity had nothing to do with Nikki over there. It was all about rumors that people have heard about Ellen DeGeneres just not being a very nice person to work for. I don't know if there is any truth to that, but if you go over there and read that thread, it is flooded with people talking about that. So I want to go in here and we're going to talk about a little statement that Nikki made the other day about fear after having come out. I think it's a really important statement. I want to talk about that in a second. But first I want to go into the Beauty Guru Chatter of where they post, Nikki is going to be on Ellen this week, and they put the same little thing up there. And then somebody said, I'm always taken aback when I see YouTube celebrities on talk shows, but that's internet celebs on talk shows. I see YouTube/internet celebs on talk shows, but that's just the world we live in now. Haha, hope everything goes well. And somebody said, it's like when you were a kid and saw your school teachers at the grocery store, like, oh my God, you're allowed to leave your ring light, or you're allowed to leave your ring light. And I think that's so funny because, you know, I get asked a lot, like, what happens when you get spotted in public? How do people act? Well, first of all, nobody comes up to me in public, okay? Nobody knows that I'm anybody. I'm not anybody, right? And I got asked the question in the Q&A. They said, what do you do when people come up and ask you for your picture? Nobody comes up and asks me for my picture. They don't. People come up to me and they'll be like, oh my God, I watch your vlog or I watch your Peterisms channel. But nobody comes up and asks me more. I mean, like, listen, that's not the world I live in, okay? I am free to roam the earth and nobody knows who I am. So that's how YouTube famous I was, or I am. And they go on and they say some stuff about Kim Kardashian. And then somebody here says, I have a lot of feelings about Ellen as a host and a person, but I think this is going to be a great platform for Nikki. Honestly, quite thrilled for her. And someone said, same. And they say they can't stand Ellen, but they're happy for Nikki. And then somebody asks, genuinely curious, why can't you stand her? I've been hearing this throughout Reddit for a while, but not sure why people don't like her. And then somebody said, every person who's ever worked in LA for any period of time or has heard an Ellen story. Apparently, she's absolutely awful to people who work on the show, has a reputation for being an incredibly mean person. I have never personally heard that, but if you go underneath here, I mean, the thread just goes on and on. I mean, everybody has things to say. They're linking videos about this was uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. I always like to watch Ellen's shows, like her 12 Days of Giving and all that stuff. It makes me so happy inside. So, I don't know. I don't know anything about her not being a nice person. Somebody said it bugs me. Okay, so on the show, Colin Farrell is also going to be on there, as well as the Jonas Brothers, and I've loved Colin Farrell for a long time. Somebody says, it bugs me they spelled Colin Farrell's name wrong in the title, but yay for Nikki, because they spelled it wrong in the title of the show. And somebody said, I was so weirded out that he's referred to all as the star of Dumbo and Fantastic Beasts. LOL. I know him from much different movies. And then people totally miss it. They go underneath her and they say, LMAO, I mainly know him from Horrible Bosses. Somebody says, I love that movie. He's so funny in it. Yeah, I loved it. And they go on and they talk about all these movies that they loved him in. And I'm like, y'all totally missed what movie. Did y'all know about the movies that Colin Farrell was in back in the day? Well, I only know of one movie. Or is there more than one? He had a little exposed video that came out, I think, quite some time ago. And then somebody goes in here and they talk about, like, somebody threatening to out her. And somebody said, she's going to be so brilliant and I'm so happy for all the younger people who will see her story and feel more confident in their own path. And I think that that is the highlight to take from all of this. Somebody else said that's my thought too, even though I'm not a fan of Ellen at all. Her show is a huge platform for others to hear Nikki's story. Again, what a effing badass, poised, strong woman she is. Somebody in here, and this is so funny because this so applies to me, okay? Somebody said, I thought her last name was Tutorials. Okay, and somebody said, this reminds me of Frozen when Kristoff asks Anna what her fiance's last name is, and she says, of the Southern Isle. Sorry, I have a preschooler, and I probably watched it. I can't even say how many times. 1-833-847-7-8-6-7-5-3-0-9. Anyway, that is so funny because that is totally what I thought when I first started watching Nikki. Well, if you go back, okay, when I first started watching, I don't know that I ever thought Nikki's last name was really Tutorials. I never thought that. But Manny MUA, I truly did think that his last name was Mua. Like, I thought, like, I don't know what I thought. I thought his last name was Mua. And if you go back and you watch some of my very first videos, I called him Manny Mua. And I mean, I still call him Manny Mua sometimes. But I thought it, and he thinks it's funny, I know, because he's told me in the past. But anyway, I swore that I thought that his name was Manny Mua. I swear I did. I thought all of these people, okay, Jeffree Star, Patrick Star, all these people, I thought Patrick Star, I said, how unfortunate to have to spell your name with 3 R's. Like, when you're a little kid, how would you ever even keep up with that? I don't know much about, my hair is like, I need a haircut so bad. So anyway, they go in there and they say a bunch of things about that, and they keep on going in here and talking about, I'm more excited for her to meet Colin Farrell than Ellen. He's just so freaking hot, somebody says. And then they go in here and they say, okay, they go in here and talk about Ellen handling the situation, how she will. And somebody said, I thought this was interesting. Somebody said, this will probably be downvoted into oblivion, but I can't help but to feel that this will turn into one of those 15 minutes of fame moments. I mean, Nikki is famous already, but getting such a quick rise from being just famous is extremely famous usually backfires and people get bored of it. And I can't help to wonder, but if Ellen would ever bring Nikki on the show if it wasn't for her coming out, and if there are other talk shows wanting Nikki to attend to them as well. And so, you know, I think it's an interesting conversation. Let me fix, look at that. What is going on? I need a barrette right there in the middle, just holding my hair back like a high center ponytail. You know, good for Nikki. Listen, this is her time, you know? There was a time on YouTube when I think that a lot of YouTubers that have since come out, I think Joey Graceffa being another one, you know, I think were really afraid to do that, really afraid that they were going to lose their audience. And I'm just assuming that about Joey, I don't know, right? But, you know, like, that they were going to lose their audience if they came out. And I think even in 2020, 2020, Nikkie had to be terrified. If I come out and share this story, are people, you know, like, and we know now that she was like supposedly being blackmailed, you know, allegedly, I don't know, and she couldn't tell her own story. But, you know, you have to think that Nikkie was going to share this story, but she had no idea how it could have been received, you know? I'm sure she was terrified. What if this is the end of me on YouTube? What if this is the end of makeup companies wanting to work with me? You know, I'm sure she had a lot of fear about this, right? So let's talk about the fear a little bit. The day after her video was posted, which was #1 on trending, this is a video that she posted on Instagram.
Good morning, everybody. Everyone has been asking me, okay, girl, tell us, how did it go? How did it feel going out in public for the first time since your video? And, okay, so, first of all, I am a tall bitch, okay? I am tall. People look at me. With that comes that here in Holland, I am pretty well known. After that video, I think a little bit more. Guess what? People look at me. So, the trouble in that is that in my mind, right now, when people look at me, I go, oh my God, they're looking at me because of that video. It's because they know. But they're probably looking at me because of my head or because they know who I am. But there were a couple of ladies in the hair salon that winked at me like, you go, girl. You got this, girl. Don't worry. You got this. So everything went fine, actually. And it feels so good. Later today, I am getting my nails done. So that means going back to the city, back to where the people are. Loki's still a little bit nervous, okay? I think the one thing I'm the most nervous for is going out at night and having a lot of male energy surrounding me. That's going to be interesting. But we'll see. I'm probably not going out for a while. Actually, I take that back. If I want to go out and live my life, I'm going out and living my life. I don't care. I take that back. Backtracking. Okay.
Okay, so another little honest moment for Nikkie where she shares what it's like the day after she posted her video. I thought it was really interesting that she also talked about the fear of going out in public. I think that that is an important way to use her platform to discuss this fear that trans people have. And I think it's really, really powerful. You know, even on a level of somebody like her who has millions and millions of subscribers, and she's, you know, she said that, you know, she's known very, very well where she's from, but like, she still has this huge fear, right? And I think that her using her platform to address, you know, these real issues that trans people go through on a day-to-day basis, I think especially when we talk about the crimes that are committed towards trans people, especially, you know, in today's age where they're just kind of like gone to the wayside and nobody is talking about these issues. And these are vital issues that we need to be talking about. I think it's incredible that right on the heels of her posting her video that she is yet again using her platform to talk about things like the fears that she faces and what this is like for her going forward. And I hope we continue to hear that from her too. I also hope for Nikkie, you know, that she gets right back into posting videos that she likes to post and videos that, you know, she likes to do and makeup tutorials and things like that, because I think that that will also be a sign to other people that yes, this is my truth and this is who I am, but you all knew me first this way and this is who I will continue to be. Now you know a little bit more about me, but it doesn't mean that that's everything that I am completely, and I don't know if that's how she feels, but you know, I'm sure that for her this is one part of her journey, but it's not the entire journey of her life. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what Nikkie does in the future, and you know, now she is a major player, you know, in this community and has a voice, and a very, I think, valid voice, you know, to share and to help and be a role model to other people of all ages, not just the younger generation, but of all ages. So anyway, I'm excited to watch her episode of Ellen, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.